Hello viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. Dear viewers, in this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus. Then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last, some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from The Hindu, published on 24th of December 2020. The title of today's editorial is Vocal for Local. If we try to summarize today's editorial, we can say that local polls mark restart of a political process in Jammu and Kashmir, which should soon return to statehood. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS Paper 2, which has sections that include polity, constitution, governance, and international relations. Now, some key points from today's editorial. The first District Development Council polls in Jammu and Kashmir had rivals National Conference, the People's Democratic Party, that is the PDP, and the People Conference coming together on one platform, the People Alliance for Gupkar Declaration. Now, one of the most important thing about this editorial is that we saw the results of the first District Development Council polls that held in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, in these elections, one of the most important key observation of the entire elections was that the traditional rivals such as National Conference, the People's Democratic Party, all these parties have come together and they formed an alliance which was known as the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration. Now, if we speak about the performance of this alliance, the six-party platform consolidated votes in 9 out of 10 districts in Kashmir Valley. See, out of 10 districts they contested in, they had consolidated their vote shares in 9 districts. Also, they performed quite well in 3 districts of the Pir Panjal Valley and in the Chenab Valley of the Jammu region as well. If we speak about the overall numbers, the total seats that were contested for were 280, and out of those 280 seats, the Gupkar Alliance has won 110 seats. However, a very good news for BJP as came in, because BJP in these elections emerged as the single largest party, getting 75 seats. The Gupkar Alliance and the Congress are likely to have chairmen in 12 to 13 districts in J&K out of a total of 20, and the BJP could be leading 5 to 6. See, one of the most important things again here is out of the 20 districts for which the chairmen were to be selected, in 12 to 13 districts, the chairman will be from the Gupkar Alliance or from the Congress, whereas BJP will be having chairman seats for 5 to 6 districts. Independent winners, 50 of them, there are total 50 winners, will be able to swing some districts in favor of the BJP or the Alliance. Now, the independent winners, it absolutely depends upon them that whose side they are on, whether they are willing to go with the BJP or they want to go with the Alliance. These 50 winners definitely can have some swings in several districts. The Alliance sees the poll results as a verdict against the reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir into 2 union territories and revocation of its special constitutional status on August 5th, 2015. Now, when the results came, the Gupkar Alliance came up with this statement and they said that the people, the public have given the verdict to the central government for the decision which they have taken on 5th of August 2019 when they decided to reorganize Jammu and Kashmir into 2 union territories and also the special constitutional status under the Article 370. So according to the Alliance, they said that people have expressed their anger against the decision that was taken by the government with these election results. However, this statement is not to be taken very seriously as of now. Because one of the most important things that we can see, that had these parties contested in the elections individually, the situation would have been very different. And BJP at that point of time could have managed to get seats even more than 100. So it was the complete alliance. So there was no vote cutting. And just because all these parties have actually forgotten their own differences and they came up together just to fight against one party, that was the Bharatiya Janata Party. Hence, the statement that has come from the alliance cannot be taken quite seriously, or you can say that the statement is not that substantial. The present scenario: this was the first electoral process after the center ended the Jammu and Kashmir special status and the alliance had pledged to fight for its restoration. The fear of the regional parties that the poll may be rigged were allayed by the final results. See, when the elections got announced, the alliance initially said that we will not contest and we will boycott these elections. However, later on they changed their mind and they contested. Initially, all these parties, they were saying that the elections will definitely be rigged. However, this statement also cannot be taken very seriously, because if you look at the results. Now, see, if we speak about what exactly was the reason why the alliance was making such weird statements, so it was because of several reasons, such as number one, when the security was withdrawn from various leaders. Also, many candidates of the Gupkar alliance had their restrictions on the campaigning. So, with such processes, with such decisions, the alliance was continuously blaming that the elections might be rigged. Also, the alliance came up with such statements that when the central using its special agencies has started investigation, or the process of investigation has been speeded up under several cases such as the Roshni land scam, the cricket scam and other cases by the Reinforcement Directorate. Also, the arrest of the PDP leader Wahid ur Rahman par just days after he filed his nomination, all amounted to undesirable use of state machinery with a political intent. See, so when such cases were announced, or you can say when the investigation in such cases, especially we have to take a mention of a scam, that is the Roshni land scam. Now, before we move ahead, let's take a quick idea about what exactly the Roshni land scam is. Now, first of all, we have to see what exactly the Roshni Act. So the Roshni Act, formerly known as the Jammu and Kashmir State Lands Vesting of Ownership to the Occupants Act 2001. It was enacted in 2001 by then Jammu and Kashmir state government led by Farooq Abdullah and sought to regularize unauthorized lands. That means there were many people who have occupied the land and they are not paying anything for it. So what government decided, that all the occupants will be provided that land where they are staying if the occupants are paying some amount of fees to the government. Now, as per the act, the ownership rights of the land would be transferred to the occupants on the payments of a fees fixed by the government. And the cutoff set for such thing was 1990. So, if a person who has occupied the land before 1990 or in 1990, he will be availing this facility under the Roshni Act. However, any such occupancy made after 1990 will not qualify under the Roshni Act. The government projected that a total revenue of 25,000 crore will be earned by selling the lands to the occupants. However, the biggest problem with this entire act was the claim that was made by the government itself failed to fulfill it. The government, when the act was passed, the government said that a total of 20.46 lakh canal. See, canal is a unit. For example, if we speak about UP or Bihar, we use a unit for measuring land, that is bigha or biswa. So similarly, canal is the term which is used in Kashmir for land measurements. So according to the government, they said that for 20.46 lakh canal, which is almost equal to 1.02 lakh hectares, it will be completely given to the people. Now, when the approval for transfer of land was done, instead of a total of 20.46 lakh canal, only 6.04 lakh canal land was available. However, when the actual transfer took place, when the entire transfer took place, only 3.48 lakh canal was given to the occupants. That means initially it was 20.46 lakh canal. Later on, government revised it, came to 6.04 lakh canal, And after approving the entire 6.04 lakh canal, the total selling was done for only 3.48 lakh canal. Also, simultaneously, government it again and again revised the revenue that it might earn. So initially, the government was of this opinion that they will earn 25,000 crores from this entire act. Later on, the target was divided to 3,317 crore. Later on, when the actual findings, when the actual revenue was counted, the total revenue that came was only 76.46 crores. That means from 25,000 crores, the government revised, it came to 317.55 crores. And when the actual amount that was received, it was checked. So it was only 76.46 crores. Now, what exactly was the controversy? In 2014, the CAG report highlighted irregularities in the scheme and called it a scam. The act was alleged to fuel corruption and the unauthorized usurpation of public land in Jammu and Kashmir. Also, it was said that many government officials have actually taken the advantage of this act and provided the land to their relatives or their own family members. So this is the entire Roshni land scam that I'm talking about. So with reference to all such things, the concern in the minds of the alliance was that the government is using its machinery in order to trouble the members of the Gupkar alliance. The polls, however, came to be seen as a restoration of the democratic process in Jammu and Kashmir, which saw arrest of most regional leaders last year and the suspension of political activities to a large extent. Now, it should be noted that these elections can also be seen as a restoration process of the democracy coming back in Jammu and Kashmir once again. Because last year, when the Article 370 was removed, many regional leaders were arrested and no political activity was allowed. Or you can say that all the political activities in the region was completely suspended. These polls also stand out for being a rare electoral process in the last 30 years where the militant outfits and the separatist group did not campaign vigorously for a poll boycott. One more thing that should be noted about these elections is that it was for the first time in the last 30 years when the militant outfits or the separatist group, they have not campaigned for boycott of the polls. And definitely it shows one thing, that everyone has understood that India has taken a very firm stand and Indian army is quite alert with respect to everything. Frequent encounters and locals joining militancy in the past 1 year in South Kashmir did impact the turnout, where most segments saw less than 20%. However, with reference to the South Kashmir region, because army is carrying out all-out mission there, in that particular region, we saw that the voter turnout was not so motivating because maximum turnout was around 20% or even less than 20%. The way ahead, the BJP, which had already made inroads during the previous Panchayat and urban local body elections in 2018, when the regional parties boycotted, managed to win over 3 seats in Srinagar, Bandipora and Pulwama. One of the most important good news for BJP in these elections is that for the first time they have entered the valley and they have won 3 seats in the valley. They are at Srinagar, Bandipora and Pulwama. The low turnout notwithstanding, this comes as a shot in the arms for the image of the party. The BJP had also maintained a tight grip in Samba, Udhampur and Jammu, Kathua in the Jammu region. See, if we speak about BJP's performance, BJP has done quite well because for the first time they have made an entry into the valley region. Also, they have maintained a very tight grip in the traditional vote bank of the BJP that was in the Jammu region. The political process restarted through the DDC election must be given more space. The centre must appreciate the role of regional parties in moving towards peace and stability in Jammu Kashmir. See, centre wants to achieve peace and stability in the Jammu Kashmir region. It is very important that the regional parties, the regional partners must be taken into consideration. Once they are taken into consideration for the entire peace process, only then we can achieve peace and stability that we all want for Jammu and Kashmir. Also, one of the most important thing is If the center tries to take all the regional parties together, then Jammu and Kashmir can once again get back its statehood, and also the chances of holding assembly elections can definitely be the next thing that everyone will be interested into. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. A question that can be framed with reference to today's analysis is how the recent DDC elections in Jammu and Kashmir can be called as a new beginning in the valley. So viewers, I hope you liked today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much.